Half-Hanged Mary is a poem by novelist Margaret Atwood, in which she tells the story of her ancestor, Mary Webster, who was accused of witchcraft in the 1680s in a Puritan town in Massachusetts and hanged from a tree, where, according to one of the several surviving accounts, she was left all night. It is known that when she was cut down, she was still alive and lived for another 14 years. Rumor was loose in the air, hunting for some neck to land on. I was milking the cow, the barn door open to sunset. I didn't feel the aimed word hit and go in like a soft bullet. I didn't feel the smashed flesh closing over it like water over a thrown stone. I was hanged for living alone, for having blue eyes and sunburned skin, tattered skirts, few buttons, a weedy farm in my own name. Oh yes, and breasts, and a sweet pear hidden in my body. Whenever there's talk of demons, these come in handy. 8 p.m. The rope was an improvisation. With time, they'd have thought of axes. Up I go, like a windfall in reverse, a blackened apple stuck back onto the tree. Trussed rags, hands in my mouth, a flag raised to salute the moon. Old bone-faced goddess, old original, who once took blood in return for food. The men of the town stalk homeward, excited by their show of hate. Their own evil turned inside out like a glove, and me wearing it. 9 p.m. The bonnets came to stare, the dark skirts also. The upturned faces in between, mouths closed so tight they're lipless. I can see down into their eye holes and nostrils. I can see their fear. You were my friend. Yes, you too. I cured your baby, missus, and flushed yours out of you, non-wife, to save your life. But help me down. You don't dare. I might rub off on you, like soot or gossip. Birds of a feather burn together, though as a rule, ravens are singular. In a gathering like this one, the safest place is in the background. Pretending you can't dance, the safe stance, pointing a finger, I understand. You can't spare anything. A hand, a piece of bread, a shawl against the cold, a good word. Lord knows there isn't much good to go around here. You need it all. 10 p.m. Well, God, now that I'm up here with maybe some time to kill away from the daily finger work, leg work at the head level, we can continue this quarrel, the one about free will. Is it my choice that I'm dangling like a turkey's wattles from this more than indifferent tree? If nature is your alphabet, what letter is this rope? Does my twisting body spell out grace? I hurt, therefore I am. Faith, charity, and hope are 3 dead angels falling like meteors or burning owls across the profound, blank sky of your face. 12, midnight. My throat is taut against the rope, choking off words in air. I'm reduced to knotted muscle. Blood bulges in my skull, my clenched teeth hold it in, I bite down on despair. Death sits at my shoulder like a crow, waiting for my squeezed heart of a beat to burst so that he can eat my eyes. Or like a judge, muttering about sluts and punishment and licking his lips. Or like a dark angel, insidious in his glossy feathers, whispering to me to be easy on myself, to breathe out, finally. Trust me, he says, caressing me. Why suffer? Temptation to sink down to these definitions, to become a martyr in reverse, or food, or trash. To give up my own words for myself, my own refusals, to give up knowing, to give up pain, to let go. 2 a.m. Out of my mouth is coming at some distance from me a thin, gnawing sound, which you could confuse with prayer, except that praying is not constrained. Or is it, Lord? Maybe it's more like being strangled than I once thought. Maybe it's a gasp for air prayer. Do those men at Pentecost want flames to shoot out of their heads? Do they ask to be tossed around on the ground, gabbling like holy poultry, eyeballs bulging? Call it please. Call it mercy. Call it not yet. Not yet. As heaven threatens to explode inwards in fire and shredded flesh, and the angels call. 3 a.m. Wind sees and the leaves around me, the trees exude night birds yell inside, my ears like stabbed hearts, my heart stutters and fluttering body, I dangle with strength going out of me, the wind sees and my body tattering the words, I clench my fists, I hold, no. Talesman or silver disc, my lungs flail as if drowning, I call on you as witness. I did no crime. I was born. I have borne. I will be born. This is a crime I will not acknowledge. Leaves and wind hold on to me. I will not give in. 6 a.m. Sun comes up, huge and blaring. No longer a smile for God. Wrong address. I've been out there. Time is relative, let me tell you. I have lived a millennium. I would like to say my hair turned white overnight, but it didn't. Instead, it was my heart, bleached out like meat in water. Also, I'm about 3 inches taller. This is what happens when you drift in space, listening to the gospel of the red-hot stars. Pinpoints of infinity riddle my brain, a revelation of deafness. At the end of my rope, I testify to silence. Don't say I'm not grateful. Most will have only one death. I will have 2.